Welcome back to Politically Incorrect with Andrew Forgione. I'm your host, Christine Clark, and here on Big Purple Couch, we have Miss Clair McArthur.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you got some love here. Wow. Yeah, lots of love.
Got some support.
And we had, just like we were talking about with Adam, we had the BPC preliminary polls just released last night, and you're in last place with 4% of the votes. Is that surprising? Do you think that's discouraging?
It doesn't surprise me at all. The demographic that I'm targeting are the ones that aren't going to vote in those preliminary polls,
right,
because they usually don't even vote in the final polls. So I actually didn't even put it on my Facebook wall. I think one of my campaign team tagged me in it, and honestly, I don't want to let them see where I am right now. I have a strong sense that this is going exactly where I want it to go, and I want to keep it like that. And preliminary polls are definitely helpful, but by no means are they going to show the outcome.
Good, positive attitude. It's helpful
Yeah,
out.
you know, positive thinking.
Awesome. So I'm going to jump right into the platform points.
Please.
So one of them I wanted you to touch more on is the Dyson Airblades.
Yeah.
So essentially, it looks like a good idea, but it's quite expensive. And one of the reasons that Mike Tithcott couldn't do two-ply toilet paper was because, for example, the university helps us out with our hygienics. So they had to do our toilet paper, our paper towel, all that kind of stuff. So you need to actually lobby the university to do that. And it could be complicated as well. Another question I had to bend on that, but is it a top priority for the USC to get these Dyson hand blades, especially if it's going to be a lobby point? It might be expensive in the long term.
Absolutely. The Dyson Airblades turns out to be a really hot topic, and I think they're important for a number of reasons. They cut down our environmental impact. They use less energy than the hand dryers that we have throughout the university now. Pertaining to the financials of it, there are leasing options. And I do know that we have the President Initiative Fund that is allocated to me, and I do think this is the next first step. A lot of universities currently still produce just paper towel and paper towel, right, and I understand we have contracts with it, but another reason why the two-ply toilet paper couldn't go in was because they couldn't actually fit. Right, am I correct?
Because the dispensers are owned by
in
the
the
university.
dispensers. Yeah. So of course we couldn't change all the dispensers. I'm not trying to change dispensers as well. This is a one-time thing that we can put in that it will actually, we'll be able to pay it back within 5 years of it being implemented, which shows Adam that I do have vision and have some long-term goals for the USC as well.
For sure, and because you were saying it's a one-time project, but you're projecting it for 5 years. What do you think will be accomplished in your term with it?
I think it is unfair of the current president to put the onus on the incoming one for their goals. Right. I'm trying to do short-term, some of them are short-term goals of my platform because I want to accomplish it all in my term. It is a very short term that we're working with, right, and I want to make sure that I can get everything done because the incoming USC president, you know, after me or after whoever, will have their own ideas, and I hope it correlates well with my idea of the USC.
Right.
But I don't think that's not my job. That's up to them to see where the USC needs to go after that. And to put the onus on them to continue the previous president's current projects, I think is unfair.
For sure. And I guess another price issue with something on your platform was the laptop chargers. And I know, Andrew, you had trouble with the cell phone chargers. Do you think it'll just be an unrealistic goal to be able to get them for students?
No, absolutely not. We did a lot of research on this platform to make sure everything was feasible. There's a universal laptop charger that will accommodate students with PCs, with Dells, and then we'll have a Mac charger as well. So honestly, it's just 2 cords. It'll be set up very similarly to the cell phone chargers in the Mustang Lounge. Right. And what are the 2 things you use most in a day? Your cell phone and your laptop.
Exactly.
We have fixed one of the problems. Let's fix the other problem as well.
Okay, switching gears a little bit to something outside of this building. I wanted you to touch a little bit on the student parking platform point.
Yep.
Have you read like the campus master plan or how they want to see the physical aspects of their campus over the next couple of years? Because currently it's almost impossible to find space for parking for faculty, staff, and for students.
Absolutely. I'm not trying to create any more parking, and I know our wonderful UA, Patrick Searle, has looked at the transportation issue, especially pertaining to the LTC, and we're helping those students that take the bus. But I think we're constantly ignoring the students that do drive to campus because they are commuting or because they live so far away or not on a bus route. So what I want to do is I want to lobby for a simple move of the barriers that are currently up in Springett. The staff parking lot, at least not to my knowledge, ever gets full. I always see empty spaces, and yet students are constantly circling around the back lot, which is allocated to students. Why can't we just open up that driveway that's already built, though, built there. Take off those pillars, move it up, give us an extra row. I'm not looking to build any more parking spots. I'm simply looking to reassess what is allocated to who and give more to the undergrads because I think it's needed.
For sure. And another thing that a lot of other candidates have critiqued about yours is the fall reading week.
It's not a week.
Or would you just make it a weekend or just?
That in the platform I specifically say break because I understand that it would be very unfeasible to put in a fall reading week. Western runs on a 13-week term instead of a 12-week term, which other universities do that have been able to implement that week because they have that extra week to play around with. We don't have that luxury, but that's okay. This is also a lobbying point, so it's something I'm willing to compromise on. I want to try and get a long weekend in November. That also pertains to the mental health issue that surrounds our campus. If students are able to go home during the month of November before finals hit and they get so stressed out, let's give them a weekend home. Calm down, see their parents, see the support that they have, come back fresh-faced, ready to go into finals and not be stressed from midterms. If the reading break in November doesn't work with an extra day off, let's tack a day on to the Thanksgiving break. Give those students that live out of province a chance to go home, see their family, and then once again come back in a healthier mental state.
Perfect. Yeah.
Great. I really wanted to touch on something that I was involved with this year. We had a 12-month bus pass referendum last year, and I physically signed the agreement with LTC. So I really want you to expand on the opt-out part-time student bus pass because as far as I know, there's no way LTC would be willing to do this.
It's not opt-out, it's opt-in for part-time students. Currently, it is administered at UBC. And because of that, we're looking at the other models of universities and making sure that that is feasible for Western and UBC being a large institution that accommodates a lot of students. Let's look at how they did it, really start compromising. I think it is essential that just because a student has only 3 classes a week that they don't get a bus pass. Let's allow them to opt into that bus pass.
The only issue I see with that is still that the LTC needs concrete numbers in order to distinguish an amount. So this could skew numbers for the full-time undergraduate students.
And I wouldn't be willing to, charge the full-time students extra money in order to help those part-time students. However, I think that we need to focus on the part-time students as a critical part of our university and students that matter. And I'd be willing to work with LTC and making sure that we're going through meetings. And let's start right away. Let's not wait until September when the students come back. Let's work throughout the summer and dive in and make sure that we are getting those numbers. We are making advancements before in order to accommodate part-time students that are starting in September.
Great.
For sure. It's good to get foot in the door.
Yeah,
exactly.
Keep going. Exactly.
And final question here, out of all the other USC presidential candidates, is there anyone you feel will be least successful?
Yeah, and it's actually a pair of them because they're the same person. It's Adam and John. If you want a politician, my God, go elect a politician, but it's a University Students' Council. It's not the University Politicians' Council. I represent the student body, and I represent more than the people that will watch this, unfortunately, because they are the ones that don't care. And I want to turn that apathy into engagement and make sure that students are willing to take action and make sure their voices are heard throughout the USC.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Claire, for coming on the
Appreciate
show. And there you go. We'll have all the candidates. Oh, wow. See, lots of love out here. You got a good crowd.
Thank you. Engaging students. It's what it's all about.
Exactly. Watch the video. There you go. And we'll have every presidential candidate here on the show, so be sure to check that out and more at bigpurplecouch.ca.